Imagine waiting for a leader for a few days, and then deciding to make your own, literally, as a statue. And yes, that idea went downhill fast. It all begins with Moses climbing Mount Sinai for what everyone assumes will be a quick meeting. Something like, "Hold on everyone, I'll be right back with the instructions for civilization." So the people wait. Day 1, calm. Day 2, slightly less calm. Day 3, starting to feel like the loading bar froze at 99%. It becomes the ancient version of when the boss leaves for a short meeting and the team decides to manage itself. Never ends well. Not in offices, not in deserts. The camp slides into a strange cocktail of uncertainty, fear, impatience, and who is actually in charge right now? No one has answers, just concerns. People look at the mountain the way someone checks their phone when the delivery guy is late. Some stare at the horizon like Moses might suddenly reappear. Some murmur complaints under their breath. Some cross their arms and announce expert opinions such as, "He's not coming back, I'm telling you." And the theories spiral from there. He's delayed. He's lost. He's doing some kind of long spiritual detox. Nobody knows anything, but everyone is confident anyway. And nothing is more dangerous than an anxious group with free time. Each day adds a new layer of restlessness. The people are stuck between too much waiting and not enough direction. And that's exactly the psychological zone where humans make the worst possible decisions. Aaron, temporarily in charge, tries to maintain order, but it's like trying to hold back a river with a broom. The pressure keeps growing. The crowd keeps scanning the mountain. Morning. Maybe today. Afternoon. Maybe later. Evening. Maybe never. Eventually, the impatience transforms into a collective urge. We should do something. Which, historically speaking, is never a warm-up to wisdom. The tension reaches a point where the logic breaks. The anxiety speaks louder, and the crowd starts thinking in shortcuts. Because when certainty disappears, people often look for something, anything, to replace it. And then it happens. A simple question that ignites the worst chain reaction in the entire chapter. What if we make our own leader? The moment the words leave someone's mouth, the atmosphere shifts. The camp leans in. The idea takes shape. And the story takes a hard turn toward disaster. This is the exact point where everything turns into a terrible decision, the solution they come up with. Build a golden calf. Yes, that's the plan. It starts with Aaron, left in charge, surrounded by a restless crowd that's approaching maximum anxiety levels. The people press him like customers demanding a refund for a product that technically hasn't even launched yet. Before he can even process the request, gold starts appearing from every direction. Bracelets, earrings, necklaces, everyone contributes something. It's the most enthusiastic group project in the desert, for all the wrong reasons. And the speed is alarming. No debates, no doubts, no, "Should we sleep on this?" Just instant action, like the moment someone blurts out a terrible idea and everyone else goes, "Yeah, sure, why not?" It's the ancient equivalent of trading an actual leader for a shiny mascot, simply because it sparkles under good lighting. The crafting begins, melting, shaping, polishing. Aaron isn't leading. He's being carried by the wave of collective panic. And the whole process feels like watching a disaster tutorial on fast forward. The justification? Weak. The decision-making? Rushed. And when anxiety drives the decision, the result is never elegant. It's the classic. It seemed like a good idea until someone actually did it. Once the calf takes shape, the crowd reacts instantly. There's no awkward pause, no second thoughts, no one raising a hand to say, "Guys, maybe this is too much." Instead, they rally around the statue like it's the limited edition product of the year. But beneath all the noise and excitement, something heavier is happening. This isn't just disobedience, it's replacement. It's swapping the entire foundation of their identity for something they can see and touch. It's breaking the pact they claimed to cherish just days before. Bit by bit, the mood shifts from desperation to comfort. Something visible feels safer, something solid feels easier, something golden feels familiar. Like the idols of the nations they'd seen before, they trade the invisible for the visible, the real for the comfortable, the promise for the shortcut. And nobody notices that their rush is about to cost them a lot more than their jewelry, because while the crowd admires their new golden project, the story is already speeding downhill, and they have no idea how steep the drop is about to be. And the celebration that comes next will show just how huge the betrayal really is. The people celebrate as if nothing is wrong. And not a small celebration. This is a full-scale, music blasting, dancing everywhere, who even needs Moses kind of event. The golden calf has barely cooled down, and already the crowd is treating it like the guest of honor at the most chaotic desert festival ever recorded. Music starts up, drums echo through the camp. People dance like this is the grand opening of something no one should be opening. They cheer, they sing, they bow, they throw a celebration with absolutely no limits. It's the ancient version of celebrating a promotion, before you know if you actually got the job. Except in this case, they didn't just celebrate too early, they celebrated the wrong thing entirely. From a distance, the whole scene looks unhinged. Everything is exaggerated, everything is loud, everything feels like a bad idea wearing party decorations. If anyone had stopped for even 1 second to think, they might have noticed the obvious. This is the biblical definition of a party in the wrong place, at the wrong time, for the wrong reason. Some dance like they've been training for this moment their whole lives. Some shout at the top of their lungs. Some treat the calf like it's a miracle, which is ironic, because they literally saw actual miracles not long ago. But logical consistency isn't on the schedule today. The biggest problem isn't the statue, it's the celebration. Because celebrating something publicly means claiming it, validating it, doubling down on a mistake with all the confidence in the world. And the people aren't just participating, they're endorsing their own disaster in real time. Meanwhile, far away on the mountain, Moses is finishing up his divine meeting. He's holding the tablets, yes, the stone tablets, ready to bring back the foundational laws that will guide an entire nation. Everything is peaceful up there. Everything is calm. Everything is the exact opposite of what's happening at the bottom. Then the news reaches him, and Moses does not take it well. The moment he hears what the people are doing, the tone shifts instantly. No slow build-up, no gentle reaction, just immediate, sharp disbelief. The contrast between the top of the mountain and the bottom of the mountain becomes so extreme it feels like two different worlds. Up there, order, down below, a gold-themed chaos carnival. And when Moses finally begins his descent, guided by the sound of a celebration that absolutely should not exist, the story prepares to flip completely upside down. Because Moses sees everything, and the atmosphere changes instantly. Moses finally descends the mountain, and the scene waiting for him is worse than any report could have prepared him for. He's holding the stone tablets, the literal foundation of everything he's supposed to teach, when he hears the noise, not the noise of a crisis or an emergency. No, it's party noise, celebration noise, the unmistakable sound of people having the time of their lives for all the wrong reasons. As Moses gets closer, the whole picture becomes painfully clear. There's the golden calf, front and center, spotlighted by the crowd like some kind of desert celebrity. And there are the people, dancing, shouting, celebrating, completely unaware that the leader they thought might never return is now walking straight toward them with a look that could melt stone. It's the ancient equivalent of coming back from a trip and finding a massive party in your apartment, complete with broken furniture, missing valuables, and someone claiming the couch is now community property. Moses does not take it well, at all. The anger builds and then snaps in the most literal way possible. He breaks everything, including the stone tablets. It becomes officially the greatest rage quit in the entire Bible. If customer service existed on Mount Sinai, Moses would have completed every complaint level in record time and demanded to speak to a divine manager. The irony hits hard. These are the same people who watched the sea split, the same people who walked on dry ground while walls of water stood beside them, the same people who had seen miracle after miracle, now bowing to a golden farm animal. It would almost be funny if it weren't so catastrophic. To make matters worse, the golden calf wasn't even original. It was a borrowed concept, something common among neighboring cultures, completely out of place in the story of a nation that had just been told explicitly not to do things like this. It's the kind of ironic twist that makes historians sigh and say, of all the options available, they chose that one. The disconnect is brutal. Moses is holding the laws meant to guide this people into a new future. The people are holding a festival celebrating the exact opposite of those laws. Two realities collide the moment he steps into the camp. But the true shock isn't the idol itself. It's what the idol represents. Because the golden calf is just a statue. The real disaster is the abandonment behind it. The moment the people replace trust with panic, direction with improvisation, faith with something shiny and convenient, and that realization hits harder than the broken stone tablets. The golden calf wasn't a great betrayal because it was shiny, or because it was a statue, or because it took someone a whole 3 minutes to sculpt the ears wrong. It was a great betrayal because it replaced trust with anxiety. Everything that happened began long before the gold was collected. It began with impatience, with uncertainty, with social pressure, with the crowd convincing itself that doing anything felt better than doing nothing. And once that pressure snapped, the idol became the fastest shortcut available. Impatience, insecurity, a rushed idea, a misplaced celebration, it all stacked into one massive wrong turn. And the pattern isn't ancient at all. It's extremely familiar. Most great betrayals don't start with drama. They start when someone tries to solve fear too quickly. It's like trading what's right for what's comfortable, simply because comfortable is available right now. Shortcuts always look appealing when people panic, but the crisis didn't begin with gold or a statue or a festival. It began in the heart. It began the moment fear grew louder than trust, the moment waiting felt heavier than acting, the moment the crowd believed that something visible was better than something true. And when fear makes the decision before faith does, the story almost never ends well. Moses didn't return to a group that lost information. He returned to a group that lost direction. And when people lose direction, they often create something to fill the silence, even if it leads them the wrong way entirely. The real problem was never the calf. It was the decision that produced it. A decision born from impatience, fear, pressure, and the urgent desire for something, anything, to make the uncertainty stop. That's why the moment is so iconic, not because of the gold, but because of the hearts that chose it. And now the episode closes with a question, one that sets up whatever comes next in this simplified journey through the story. Which decisive moment do you want to see simplified next? The Sinai, the manna, or the snakes?